So did you find that it was harder getting into the industry being Latin?
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, right? Like, if we're going to be frank about it,
Yeah.
hip hop is not a genre of music that was very Latin influenced.
Yeah.
So in the very beginning, it was super hard,
Yeah.
but I think watching Terror Squad, watching Big Pun and what he did gave us, and when I say us, gave us Latinos a voice in hip hop. It
Yes.
definitely opened the door. It made it a little easier. Not that the doors are still wide open for us, but I think it made it easier to kind of have that dream.
Right.
And then from there, it's all about what you can do with it. Pun kind of, and I tell people all the time, Big Pun handed us the baton, but it's up to us individually, whether it be hip hop and even reggaeton, because I think reggaeton and Latin Afro in the US is different than what it is in the other countries, in the Latino countries. So for artists here, he opened the door. Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, those guys opened the door for Latin music to really flourish in the US. But it's up to each one of us to kind of take that baton and make it our own.
And I think that's why there's so much love for you, and why I have so much respect for you, is because you are taking that baton, you're sharing it, you're inspiring other Latinos, and you're using your platform and your voice.
I mean, that's a very big thing for me. Because I tell people all the time, whether I was able to reach one person or a million people, my thinking is still the same thing, right? I'm still very appreciative of that one person or those million people.
Yeah.
But for me, it's beyond me. It's more than just me. It's for all those kids that came out of the Bronx with the same dream, that maybe didn't feel like they belonged in either culture. Me being from a mixed culture and a mixed family, it was hard, right? So for me, every little bit of success that I have, I try to give back to all those kids back home and all those kids around the world that had the same dream that I have. Being Latino, being any ethnicity doesn't stop you from reaching your goals. I think that as long as you work hard and as long as you put in the effort and the work, anything is attainable.
Yeah. First competition, I won it overall, and I was bitten. I said, I want to go back and go pro. Yeah. And 2 years later, I went pro. And now I'm just living it and saying, how can I change other individuals' lives to live the life, not just live a lie just for the moment, but live a lifestyle. And it's going to take baby steps. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
Everyone says, I'm 56, and they're like, but you've been doing this. But I've had to learn. I've had to learn from my mistakes and learn from my experiences. So
wow,
it didn't happen overnight.
And I think, I love how you took a difficult situation and a tragedy that could have really, crushed you and put you in a different path. And you took that and made your platform into helping others, inspiring others, and shining light.
Yes. I promise you, it wasn't like, okay, you know what? I didn't make the trials. I didn't make the team. Okay, now I do this. It took some time to grieve. It took time to really look at it and say, now what do I do?
Yeah.
But when I found my why, it didn't matter how, because it just happened. So
I love that. Yeah, find your why. That's huge. That's huge.
You find your why. You don't have to know how. You'll find it.
Most importantly, the key to happiness is a practice that I call practicing ending fear. Fear is what causes the interference and corrosion to happiness. Fear is what causes shortages, voids, and obstacles to happiness. Fear takes a ferocious Buddha to practice stopping or ending it in our lives. And a ferocious Buddha has 4 activities. 1, he's a key, or she is a key identifier. What does that mean? We need to identify what we're afraid of. So there's 2 types of fears. One is a primal fear. It's the Freudian fears, what we want to fight, feed, flight, or the other F word, which I don't ever say anymore. And I've learned my lesson. And then the secondary fears. The secondary fears are the need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be separate, the need to be inferior and superior, the need to be angry, frustrated, worried, resentful, guilty. All of these needs of fear, they're so easily fed. I wish I could feed the world as easily as I could feed your need to be afraid of something. But more importantly, once I identify it, I realized, hold on a second, my mind, body, and soul are on fire. It's probably not a good idea to react when my mind, body, and soul are on fire. So what do I need to do? Should I resist the fire? No. What we resist persists. Should I go around the fire? No. Over the fire? No. Under the fire? No. Just stop. Stop and raise your frequency to your happiness. Your highest frequency is neutral. So the best thing you can do is stop and breathe. Drop down to neutral to get to your higher frequency. Don't live the myth of Sisyphus, rolling a boulder to the top of the hill all day long, suffering with pain, just to have it roll down to the bottom of the hill to start tomorrow morning. What you want to do is let's spend minutes and moments practicing ending fear, not months, days, weeks, and years. Go ahead, spend minutes and moments stopping, dropping, then you can roll in the right direction to what you wanted according to the values of your day, according to what you asked for, according to your student of the calendar, according to what you're doing. And so if you are in anger, fear, worried, resentful, guilty, separate, your mind, body, and soul on fire. Don't resist it. Don't fight it. Just be a ferocious Buddha. And you know when your mind, body, soul are on fire, when you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll.
I love it. I love it.
When you have a respect and a love for life, it's difficult to even kill an ant. It's like, look, can you stay outside, please? Why do you have to come in here?
Yes.
I'm trying to kill you. Yeah, so that's where I am. I'm just a lover of life, and I'm so happy that I'm living in this time right now, and I'm understanding the importance of staying in the moment and not living outside of the time that's guaranteed to you, which is the second. And I think we do too much of living in yesterday and too much of worrying about tomorrow. And we just blow off precious moments. I say that a lot too, because I find that we do that a lot. We get stuck, and it's unfortunate because this journey, this whole human experiences can be so awesome. Just think about everything that we have available to us. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the color of lipstick you chose. I'm looking at my bright orange scarf, just to be able to experience the color. Yeah. Through the gift of sight. It's just, we are just so complete in so many ways, but we act so goofy.
Yeah, that's so true. And I love that. That's such great advice, to just live in the moment and appreciate the beauty, appreciate all the stuff that you have, and not travel in the past and not worry about the future.
Yeah, it's true. We can't, because that time is not guaranteed to you.
I would say that some of the things that my mom instilled in me was hard work, tenacity, and humbleness, right? Like if I had to describe her, literally, that's who she was. And so I think that's, if people think that about me, it's a reflection of who my mom was.
Yeah. Oh, so, and you are just such a huge inspiration. Yeah. You are making your mom so proud, and she is just with us right now. I feel her.
You know, I hate the fact that she passed before, I booked the show, because she had so much faith in me. And, but, I know she's looking down.
Yeah.
Kool Kids Foundation.
Yes. Tell us about that.
Well, my wife came up with that idea, before she passed. I lost my wife a couple of years ago. And she wanted to do something for the kids, to bring music back to the schools. And when I was coming up, we had music in the schools. Yeah. And I remember I wanted to play the violin in school. Didn't like it, so took it back. The cello, didn't like it, took that back. The mellophone, almost like a French horn, didn't like that, took that back. So I ended up becoming a bass player. But what I'm saying that was available. Yeah. You don't have that anymore. So that's what her dream was. And I'm moving to kind of make that happen with the Kool Kids Foundation, and pushing education. We did a tour one time called "It's Cool to Stay in School." That was backed by Cherry Coke, and we did 42 cities. And one of the artists that came and said, "Well, we're doing fine," because we would do a meet and greet. And they said, "Well, we're doing good in school, but we'd like to sing a song for you." And which they did. They did an a cappella song. They said, "Wow, you guys sound great." So my cousin became their manager, and that group was Color Me Bad.
Wow.
Color Me Bad? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how that happened. So that's a little bit about what happens with the whole foundation, pushing education, and this is what you want, and this is what I'm doing.
I think also too, teachers shouldn't be resistant to like the new world that young people live in. I know when I was in school, I went to a performing arts school in LA. It's called Hamilton High School. Great school, theater school. But some of the things that I, introduced to like my professor, he was a little resistant to and didn't like that stuff. And I got a D in drama.
What? Oh my God. Oh.
And that was one of the things too that I was kind of like trying to figure out where the support was I got a D in drama the same year I won my Emmy. It's kind of like, so where is the disconnect? Where is the non-alignment? You know what I mean? Like, how is it that my professor's not seeing that what I'm trying to contribute in class is of value to at least the commercial market,
Yeah, that's so interesting. So you started out in theater and acting at a really young age.
Yeah, I started about 13. That's when I kind of got into it. I was a little bit of a bad kid, and I guess the acting stuff was something, that I could put my energy into that was positive.
Yeah.
And then, I had a chip on my shoulder. Everyone was like, "Oh, you can't play the lead." I'm like, "Why not?" They're like, "You look too young." I'm like, "So what? I'm the best." So that sort of chip kind of like carried me through acting. And some of the things I still experience that today where like everyone's like, "Hey, like Rob still looks super youthful." I'm like, "Then hire me for all the youth roles. I don't care."
All right.
So it's trying to find that right, some roles I haven't gotten, and then other roles I've, played a high schooler still. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Right. And I love that you stayed true to who you are and to your vision. What is the tip that you would give someone who is, going into the entertainment industry and they keep getting turned down, or they keep, feeling like their dream's not going to come true?
Absolutely. First thing I'd say is acting is body work. Get your body in shape. Your body is your instrument, and no different than learning how to play a guitar and having to tune it every single time, or wet your reed for like a horn instrument. Like, this is what we do. So that's the first thing. The second thing too is like, you got to work hard. Like hard work will lead you to where good luck can find you.
I love that you have your own control and your own power, and you have your own vision that you're staying really strong to.
Yeah, because I've been through everyone else's visions for me, and I'm tired of it. And now I'm like, you know what? I want to do the music I want to do. I'm going to try to push. And whether you make it as a super big pop star or not, at least you're doing what you love to do, So I think that that's really important. But you got to do it smart, and you got to make good money moves while you're doing it. And that's it.
Yeah. And I think that's really hard. In the industry, it can be very challenging, and it can be very difficult for women too. And a lot of people do try to put their opinions and what they want to see done. And it's kind of hard to really stay grounded and stay strong during that.
It is. You know what else we got to deal with? Personal issues as well. At the same time as all this. It's hard out here sometimes. You got to push through. And like I say, hustlers also, like even through the times of this, what's going on now, like if you're a hustler and you're going to get money, you're going to get money in any situation. And it's kind of just, you kind of do it, or you're born with it, or you just, that's how you are. So that's my advice for people out there trying to make money. You know what? If you have a hustle mentality, you just get out there and you do it.
Hustle.
And if you don't, well, then you don't. And then you're stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the cards. Those are the cards.
Yeah, very true. And I have so much respect for you in that regards, is you do work really hard. You have a really good ethic, and you're a hustler, and you're really, using your talent and taking care of your talent.
Yeah, I am trying. I'm definitely doing and trying my best.